And audio going. Well, Ryan, thank you so much for setting some time aside to have this conversation with me when I saw your TED Talk and this whole conversation around anger and our opportunity to really take some time and take a step back and these tools that you give people to understand how they can navigate through that emotion, how to understand where that's coming from, which I can't wait to hear your perspective and your wisdom on that spot. One of the things I know is that our ability to navigate and manage our emotions is a real key tool to being able to live out our intentions, to live out our truest self in the world. So thank you so much for sharing your wisdom. I'm excited to have this conversation with you. So thanks for setting the time aside. I know this will be a great talk.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm really excited to talk to you about it as well.
One of the things I thought was really interesting is I've never met somebody who has made anger the center of their life's work. That's a unique thing. Like I got an 8 and a 6 and a 2-year-old, and if I ask my 8-year-old, they've got career day on Friday, right? And she's gonna dress up as a large animal vet, right? So I suspect as a kid you didn't dress up as an anger researcher, right? So I don't even know what that. I mean, I guess that's the outfit one wears as an anger researcher, right? So share with me what inspired you to research this, to build this toolbox for people, and to really make a difference in this space in the world today.
Well, it's funny. And so I started out life wanting to be a math teacher, went to college with that goal. And then I took my first psychology class and discovered how much I loved it and thought it was wonderful. And so changed directions and decided I wanted to be a counseling psychologist and I wanted to work with kids. Now, in in college, I worked at an at-risk shelter, a shelter for at-risk kids in St. Paul, Minnesota. And one of the things that I noticed in working there, and it actually resonated with me from when I was an adolescent, is how so many of those kids really struggled with managing their anger. And we just saw a lot of outbursts, a lot of kids kind of losing their cool, and it was getting them into trouble. Now, in retrospect, one of the things that I fully understand and sort of understood at the time, but really understand now, is that those kids had a lot to be angry about. Life had not treated them fairly. They were the victims of terrible, terrible, terrible situations. Their anger was, I think, in many ways justified. But it was still getting them into trouble. It was still causing them problems. And part of their challenge was, it was expecting a lot of them, but part of their challenge was not really having the emotional skill set, the emotional tools to manage those feelings. And so I went to graduate